Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome back to your fave advocacy podcast. We have a special guest with us today.
Yay!
Hi.
We're so excited to have Virgo Designs. Ash, introduce yourself, please.
Hey, I'm
Welcome.
Ashley. I am probably known, more widely as Virgo Design ETX, and I am so excited to yap with you guys today.
We're excited to have you.
We're so excited to have you. I was like, we have to have Ash on the pod.
Oh,
Please come.
Which it always, when I do this, I have to be like, wait, what's the real name again? Because I always just call you Virgo.
Yeah.
Like, if
but-
you have a good handle, I'm like, that's your name. Like, I said
Yeah.
this to Sprinkle too. I'm like, you're Sprinkle. Like, if you have a good
You're
handle,
Sprinkle.
I can't. That's just how my brain works. You're Virgo.
it's
to
really
me,
hard to
so
separate.
It really
Yeah.
is.
And I always forget to change my name like on my email sometimes.
Mm.
So I'll email somebody from the school and they'll be like, "Dear Virgo, who are you?"
Dear
is it?
Virgo.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's right. I have like an actual name I should use
Superhero
probably."
name. It's your
Which
superhero name.
I was looking up last night because I don't feel like I know much about Virgos. Do you, Reagan?
I do. My dad is a Virgo. My
Okay.
father-in-law is a Virgo.
Real? Oh,
my
she
sister,
knows.
my older sister is a Virgo. I know
Surrounded.
Virgos.
I think I have.
Surrounded.
I think I have one in the family, but I didn't know like the cutoff because it's hard to keep up when it's not
Keep
your
track.
own.
Yeah.
It really is.
But
So
are you like?
all
Are you
three
into
of us,
it? Oh, you
all three of us in the
you.
house. Yes.
Wow.
My son
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
are 3 days apart.
Oh,
So
I love
we
that.
almost had the same birthday.
That would be so
Oh.
fun.
But so obviously we are both Virgos, and my husband is a September Virgo. So
yeah.
we kind of run the full gamut of Virgo, I guess. But yeah.
Okay,
Virgo
so is
house.
that why it was like heavy on your brand because it
Yes.
represents your whole family? Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you were just like really into like zodiac signs. What do you think about Aquarius?
Ooh, I again don't know a ton about other signs.
Okay.
But I will say this. I think that is a sign that's very sure of themselves, like, period.
Period.
And I think that is something we all could use a little bit more of, is just being like completely sure of yourself. Because like Virgo's like, we know we're right,
Yeah.
but sometimes that is more of like an outward projection than an internal thing. And
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
that we could all use that internal reassurance too.
I love
Yes.
it. Me and Reagan are both Aquarius.
We're both Aquarius.
I
Yeah.
love. Okay, so I knew, Reagan, I knew that you were, but Court, I didn't know that you were.
I'm a
so.
January
she's a
one.
January
She's a
one.
February. So
Mhm.
All right.
that being said, tell us who you are. Like, we know you live in Austin, correct?
I
Like, are you
do. I'm in
from
Austin.
there. Tell us.
I
a little
am
about
not from
yourself.
Austin. I grew up in Amarillo in
Okay.
Texas, and then I lived in Lubbock for about 13 years. That's where Aaron and I got married. Well, we got married in Vegas, but that's where we lived when we got married.
Vegas wedding.
Yes, we eloped on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I love that.
And it was kind of like we were just loading up the car to go visit family, and he was like, "Should we get married?" And I was
Oh
like,
my
"Yeah, let's do
God.
that instead."
Instead.
So
Right.
we kind of just like
I love that.
went to grab rings, and it was very just like quick. I like that one. I like that one. Okay, cool. These will be our rings. We
Aw.
drove all night. And I will say, a lot of people have this misconception that like you can just show up in Vegas and like get married and it like takes 2 seconds, and like
Right. The
That's what I
movie.
thought.
people that are very inebriated can totally do it.
Mhm.
We still had to go to City Hall. We still had to do
Oh.
all of that first.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And we also thought like it's Vegas, like everything will be open.
That's what I thought.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously not City Hall, right? So we had our taxi driver was amazing. Like he was our witness. He was calling people, like
This
his
is such a good
relatives.
story.
Yes. Oh, he was the best.
I love
And he was like, "You've got to go to City Hall first," and like they're about to close. So he like got us
Oh.
there. We did the City Hall thing. He took us to Little Whitechapel, which was the only one that was open,
Oh my
and they were
gosh.
closing in 30 minutes.
Oh my
The guy
God.
that married us was still like half in drag, which like I love so much.
That's amazing. Yes, I
But
was
he was
wondering.
like, he was half in drag, half out because like they were getting ready to close, right? But he was willing to marry us. So our awesome dude, half in drag, married us in the drive-through, and our taxi driver was our witness,
Oh
and
my gosh.
that was that. Yeah.
That's
It was,
amazing.
I love it.
That's
I love
probably my
that.
favorite story I've heard about getting
Aw.
married. I was wondering if you were gonna say it was Elvis, but that was even better. So I
Yes.
love
So
that.
I do think that it was Elvis drag.
Oh, was it?
Oh.
Okay.
I will
Even
say,
better.
just based on the like one sideburn that was still on.
Do you have
I
Right.
would
pictures?
say
Do you have pictures?
we took one
Okay.
selfie in the cab, and that was it. And it's
Oh.
so like grainy and blurry, and there's like a red light coming in from the street. But we loved it because like it was just ours. Like it was
Oh, it's
something that was
perfect.
just
Yeah.
for us, you know?
I love
And
So
that.
good.
to this
How
day I
long
love
were you
it.
guys together until you got it?
We were together for about a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but we knew each other. We've known each other since like middle school.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Never dated or anything like that. Grew up, kind of went our separate ways, and we would keep in touch randomly, but you know, not a ton. And then he came to Amarillo. I think he was staying with a friend that was there, seeing his family over a holiday, and we just happened to like run into each other, and basically that was it. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Which
So
is
like we've
that?
always had a connection.
Which
But
is that in Texas? Is that more south? I'm trying to picture because I
oh,
know
okay. Yeah.
Dallas,
So it's
Houston.
closer to the top.
Oh, it's at the
And
top.
what's
Okay.
funny is they call it West Texas, but like it's not.
This is so big. Like I'm
At
always
all.
trying to like piece
It's
together
so
where.
weird. Like it's so weird.
So how did you get to Austin?
So we came here for the schools, actually.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. I
and
was
just
gonna ask
for
that next.
the
What's that like?
for the more an environment that is better suited to our values and our beliefs. I mean, obviously we're still in Texas, so that's tricky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Austin was a place that feels a lot more aligned with our values than where we were, for sure. The school experience was real bad, I will say, in Lubbock, and that was why we left.
Yeah.
And we did a ton of research before we came. We came and toured the school. We talked to members in the district and stuff like that. And I mean, you can do all the research in the world,
Right.
but until you get there, you
Right.
just don't know. And our first year here was really special. It was really something.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's public school,
So
right?
I was gonna say, is it public?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when we moved here to put our son in a school that is no longer open.
Yeah.
Oh.
We left at semester, so over the holiday break, we drove here in like a full U-Haul, you know, that was almost like a semi type thing, and
Yes.
then the trailer. We were so exhausted because we left like literally the half day that they got out of school or whatever for semester. Like we picked him up with all our stuff and we left.
Oh, wow.
Again, put ourselves in a situation for whatever reason that we drove all night, and we were so tired. We were at this gas station, and like there were all these I don't know if this was like the place to be in this town that we stopped to get gas, but like it seemed like everyone that lived there was there,
Oh my
and
gosh.
they were all trying to like get in, and so I'm like, oh, I'm in their way. So I started trying to back it out.
Oh, no.
And
Wait, you
they
were
started, like,
driving? I've
so
never
I had
driven
to
one
drive
before.
one, and Aaron drove the other one.
Oh gosh.
So
That's my nightmare.
yes, parking for whatever reason, like parking in front of people, I'm like, don't look over here. Like,
Oh,
don't watch me park.
never. I can't do
Like,
it in a small car.
Nobody, yeah, like if
Oh
you
my
are
God.
looking at me, I will start like sweating and like
That's
overthinking
me.
it.
That's me
you
with
know?
anything. I'm like, don't look at me.
Like I don't wish to be perceived. I am not here.
Right.
Like, but
Yes.
so I'm, backing out, and this guy was like, I think he thought he was being funny, but he started like honking,
Oh, God.
and I'm like, oh no, like, so I'm freaking out. So I just try to like zoom away, and I clipped Aaron in
Oh,
his
phew.
U-Haul
Okay.
truck with our
Oh.
U-Haul trailer, and I was just like, oh my
At
god,
least you
no,
knew.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, at least,
Could've been
at least it
worse.
was someone I knew, but we
Yeah.
were able to like knock the dent back out.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah,
The
so it,
plunger. Okay.
yes, so it was all fine. But I was just like, how does this happen?
Oh my
But so
God.
we got here around like 3 a.m.
Jeez.
We
How
pulled
far of a
into a
drive is it?
hotel.
I'm like thinking in Texas to Texas.
From Lubbock to here, it was about 6.5 hours. But again, when you're in a U-Haul, you have to go a
Yeah.
little bit
Slower.
slower. And when you're nervous and,
Mhm.
you go a little bit slower than that.
Right.
So it took us a little bit longer. But
Us
we pulled
kids.
into the hotel and we were like, can we park these here? And they were luckily very cool about it.
Oh,
We
good.
lived in that hotel for several weeks while
Oh,
we were looking for a
Wow.
place to stay. So that was kind of how we spent the holiday that year. My son
Was
loved it. He thought it was
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun that we had like a little tiny tree in the hotel room.
Oh.
He was so
there
into
a
it.
bad experience, like something so bad that happened that you had to get out?
Yeah, and I think it was more like a string of things, right? And
Okay.
there was, one main issue or probably two, but um yeah,
You were like, I'm done. We are done.
it was our first public school
Mhm.
experience. So he's in first grade, just to give you guys a little background. He had bilateral Achilles surgery over the summer. So they lengthened both of his Achilles tendons.
Oh, wow.
And initially the surgery was supposed to happen in May. It got pushed back to July and school starts in
Mhm.
August.
Mm.
So when we were talking with the school before school started, we were like, hey, he's in 2 casts right now. Like what can we do about this? And they were essentially just like, well, he can walk, so it's fine. And I'm like,
What?
that's not really huh, okay.
What?
Sure. So we were trying to be like proactive and make a plan, and they weren't super interested in doing any of that.
Mm.
And the first day I went to pick him up, and they have these like crazy, I mean, you know what pickup line is like.
Yeah.
They have these like crazy strict rules about like no matter where your kid is,
Right.
you pull all the way up
Mhm.
and then they get in.
Yeah.
Well, he's got this backpack on that's like bigger than he is,
Oh.
and he's got a cast on each leg, and he is walking toward the car, and he literally had his hand on the door, and then the line started moving.
Oh,
And I'm
God.
like, well, I'm not going to just be like, see
Pull
ya, and
away.
drive
Yeah.
away.
Right.
So, like, I got out of the car to help him get in, and this woman comes up and she's like yelling.
I already
Oh
see the
my
woman.
Yeah.
I get yelled at all the
Yes.
time.
Yes. And she's like, no, pull forward. Like, you have to follow the rules. I don't care what your situation is. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to break the rules. I'm just
Right.
like, what did you want me to do here?
Right.
So she shuts the door, and I'm like, no. So I open the door back up, and I'm like, no,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
I get my kid in the car. She's walking next to our car, following us. And I just rolled the windows up because I was like, whatever you have to say is not for him.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's not for me either, but it's
No.
definitely not for him.
No.
So I rolled the windows up and I just kind of keep driving. He starts bawling. And then he's like, are you in
Oh my
trouble
God.
because my cast, because I was moving too slow? And I'm like, of course not.
No.
So I, repair that with him. And then I'm like, well, can't let that slide. So we turn
No.
back around and we go into the school, and I want to talk with the principal, and they're like, sure, he'll be right out. Never comes out.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
And I can hear him in his office, like chit-chatting with people, shooting the breeze, whatever. He knew I was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally one of the APs comes out and she's like, we really just need you to follow the rules. And I'm like, totally.
Yeah.
Totally I would love to.
Right.
However,
Mm-hmm.
what would you prefer I do? And they were like, well, he just needs to walk to your car. And I'm like, why are we
Am I
having any of
getting
the
heated?
kids?
I'm getting
Yeah.
heated. I want to fight.
I'm sweating, like, so I'm like, why are we having any of the kids do this actually? Like, who is this
Right.
for? And they were
Yeah.
like, it just keeps the line efficient. And I'm like, that extra 30 to 60 seconds, everyone will be fine.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, what you could do is just pick him up in the office instead. And I'm like, okay, so if he wanted to do that, fine. But here's the thing. Nobody else is picking their kids up in the office.
Right.
So I'm not picking my kid up in the office either. He
Mhm.
is going to experienced dismissal like every other kid his age, and that's on
Mm-hmm.
you guys to accommodate that.
Good
And they
for
were like,
you.
you, yeah, you just don't make the rules though. And I'm like, sure, got it
Yeah.
again, but I'm trying to figure this out with you guys, and
Mm-hmm.
that was our first day.
Oh my gosh.
So at that point, I was like, this is going to be hard. But of course, I'm like, we'll figure it out. We can work
Yeah.
together. Like, I just need to like build trust with them and build a relationship with them. And like, we can
Right.
figure this out. And it really just went downhill from there. I mean, our first ARD meeting, we walked in and there was this giant conference table and there were like 18 of them. And they were all seated on one side. And the first thing they said was, if you're recording this, you have to tell us. Not hello, not,
Oh my
like welcome to this
gosh.
meeting.
Yeah. Right.
It was just, if you're recording us, you have to tell us, are you recording us? And then they slid a piece of paper across the table for us to sign, saying that we weren't recording them.
Like, should I be?
Right.
Should I
Yeah.
be recording you?
Instantly, I was like, I feel like I need to
I have
now.
my phone
Right.
out now.
Yeah. And we brought his PT, his OT, his speech therapist, his play therapist was not able to make it, but she had like written up a statement for them. So, and we felt like, oh, this is good. Like, this is really valuable information. Like,
Yeah.
none of us, including us, were allowed to speak.
What? I knew that was coming though.
Oh
I
my
knew it.
gosh.
And when I left that room, that was when I was like, okay, I think I know the law, but I'm going to make sure. And that was when I did the BK certification so that I could advocate properly for him. But there were, obviously IEP was not followed during the entirety of us being there. For instance, one thing that came home, which almost no papers came home the entire semester, which is pretty odd for a first grader.
Right.
One paper that did come home was like a clock sheet. And in the answer spaces, it was very clear that like he was not sure what he was even supposed to be doing with that paper because he just wrote capital and lowercase letters in the answer blanks. Now, if you're supposed to be having someone that is checking to make sure you understood the instructions and helping you with either writing or typing what your answer is, like you give that answer orally and you write or type the answer,
Right.
there's no way that happens.
Right.
So I brought that up to them and they were just like, their response was wild. And it was essentially just like, well, come get us then.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like,
oh my god.
All right.
got it, buddy.
I'll be waiting for you outside.
Right. I would love for us to work together, but we can knuckle up too. That's fine.
Right.
So I went home, we talked about it, and it was like, okay, what do we do? Like, let's
Right.
start this process. But knowing what the process was, I was just like, this is going to take years,
Yeah.
realistically.
Right.
And meanwhile, he's still having to go to school here.
Right.
And like, do we feel like there would not be retaliation?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So we were like, we have to get out of here. Like we have to do something else. So that was what we did. But I mean, there was also a lot of like
good for you
bullying and he didn't tell us about it for a really long time because when he asked the teacher for help, it was kind of explained to him that like, this is just what school's going to be like for you. And,
Wow.
So when he did finally talk to us about it, I was just like, what? And then, of course, we go meet with the principal about it. They want to know, are we sure we don't want to retract our statement because bullying is a serious claim?
oh my god.
And I'm like, yeah, this is serious, you guys. Like,
what is happening?
and they were like, well, do you want to just change what you're calling it? And I'm like, well, what would you call it? Like, I'm interested to know what you would name this if this was your child. And they're like, well, that's not what we're talking about. And I'm like, sure. Of course.
Oh, we're talking about mine. Yeah.
Right. So they asked us to take it back, essentially. And I was just like, won't be doing that. So their response was, okay, so here's what happens. We launch an investigation. And if we find that your son's claims are true, those students will be expelled. If we find that your son's claims are false, that will be entered into his permanent record, that he falsely accused these students. Mind you, they're all in first grade.
I was gonna say, what?
So, well, to be
Okay.
fair, one incident involved some fourth graders too, but
Mhm.
it was mostly kids in his class, in his age. And I was just like, okay, so let's back up. I don't want any of this process to be punitive,
Right.
because I am of the belief that the kids that are acting out in this way are also not getting support that they need.
Mhm.
So what I would prefer is, how about we give those kids the support that they need, and we
Mhm.
give my son the protection and support that he needs.
Yeah. Where's
And
the
I
adults?
think that, yes, I think that that will help resolve this. And also, let's be more mindful of what's going on at recess,
Mhm.
right? And they were just like, that's not how it's done. You started this process. We gave you a chance to take it back and you didn't.
Wow.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I'd like to know what your investigation consists of.
Right.
Crickets. He comes home from school. He tells me that they basically sat him down and they were like, so it's true, isn't it, that you lied about this?
No.
They did
Oh
not,
my gosh.
yes, they did not ask us if this was okay. They didn't ask
To
if one of
talk
us
to him.
wanted to be
Oh.
present. And they basically just tried to pressure him into saying that he lied about
He
it.
lied. Oh my
And
gosh.
essentially, they got him to a place where he was like, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Right. Oh,
Right.
he's
And then
what,
the
6,
other
7?
piece, yes, the other piece of the investigation was asking the kids that did it, did you do this? Now, if you're that kid, are you saying like, yeah,
Yeah.
no?
Right.
No.
You're saying, of course not, which is what
Right.
happened.
Right.
Of course.
And then, he told us that we looked at the cameras. Mind you, previously when we had safety meetings, we asked about cameras and all of that. And he informed us that the cameras are motion activated, but they are also on a loop. And I'm
Oh,
like,
so they don't have tapes.
how though? Because if they're motion activated, then they're turned off and on based on motion. And if
Mhm.
they're on a loop, then they're always on. So I don't know that it can be both.
Yeah.
So he said that the area that they were in, which how would you know that unless they were on the tape,
Mm.
did not have enough motion to activate the camera, which means that what he described happening to him could not have happened because the camera would have picked it up.
Wow.
Now, there were 7 first grade classes in this school, and they
Wow.
all had between 20 and 28 kids in them.
Mhm.
So that many kids are on the playground at once. There's no way that motion isn't being picked up
I was just
Right.
gonna say
everywhere.
that. Right.
And on top of that, we have 7 teachers on the playground as well, and nobody saw anything,
Mm.
and no cameras picked up anything. So their investigation concluded that he falsified these accusations,
Oh my gosh.
and they put that in his paperwork.
Wow.
So again, we're having a meeting, right? And we're just like, why is this procedure? Like,
Mhm.
and again, even if you don't believe that this occurred, what are you
Right.
doing to make sure it doesn't happen in the future?
Right.
And they basically were just like, we think our standards are fine. And I'm sorry that you disagree. You're free to go somewhere else. And in my head, I'm like, we're trying,
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to.
What a
But
nightmare.
so we asked about the cameras. And the last thing I'll say about that school is that in the safety meeting, we asked about, if there were an emergency, especially an active shooter, what is your
Mhm.
plan, not just for him, but for all the disabled students in the school?
Right.
And he was like, well, for your son specifically, you don't have to worry because all of the classrooms that he will be in have this like reinforced steel closet. And it just looks like a regular closet. But if there is an emergency, everyone goes in the closet, it gets locked, and it
Mhm.
doesn't get unlocked until lockdown is over.
Mhm.
So nobody can get in or out. And I was like, okay, so do we need to get an extra rescue med, like seizure rescue med for that
Mhm.
closet? And he was like, well, I mean, I don't think we can keep that in there. And I'm like, okay. So no one can get in or out.
Yeah.
His rescue med is being kept with the nurse, which is across the school from his classroom. and that's
gosh.
okay with you.
Yeah. What if
And
something
he was just like, well, it's only for emergencies. And I'm like, yeah,
Which
I think that might, this
Right.
an
might
emergency.
constitute an emergency.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, I just, we couldn't be responsible for it. Like, there's a lot of people going in and out. There are people cleaning. And I'm like, are you implying that, like, your facility staff would steal it? Because A, gross, they would
Yeah.
not.
Right.
And B, it's a seizure rescue med. Like, no
Right.
one is using this for funsies, okay?
Right.
Right.
What are you talking about? So he was like, well, we'll talk with the board and get back to you on that.
He's
And I'm like,
horrible.
why do we need to talk to the
Oh.
board
Ew,
about that?
I hope everyone has a
But
great day but
so
him. Oh,
right, he
he's
can have the
awful.
absolute day he deserves.
Right.
So we're like, that's weird. And so then I asked, like, well, what about the other classrooms? Because I noticed that he had mentioned all the classrooms my son would be in. So
Right.
I'm like, well, what about the cafeteria? What about the gym? What about the other classrooms? Like, just in case.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, so every room, including the cafeteria, has one of these closets. And he was like, the only spaces in this building that don't have one is this wing. And he points to a wing.
Oh no.
Do you guys want to guess what wing it was?
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Say it because people can't see us.
So it was the accessible ed wing. So any
What the-
accessible, dedicated accessible education
Hell.
classrooms.
Wow.
So basically, and he's bragging, like he thinks he has redesigned this building. He has made it so safe. Like he is tooting his own horn real hard.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, what? You don't hear what you
Yourself?
just said? Like, I must have heard you incorrectly. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, they can just step down.
No, he
And I'm
didn't.
like, first of all,
no, he didn't.
no one should just be ducking down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever, met a disabled person,
Mm-hmm.
but some of them cannot just duck down. My guy.
Yeah.
And what do you mean? And it was like this is the outlook, right, for all of their students. And they think that they're going above and beyond. And I was just like, is this
That
real?
is
Like,
so
and the
effed up.
shittiest part about all of that is, like, other people that I have told this story to are like, oh yeah, a similar thing happened to me. Like, this
No.
should be the weirdest, most shocking, thing. And unfortunately, it's not.
I'm shocked. Oh, it's so gross.
It's common for people. And it's just like, no.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Lubbock Cooper ISD, have the day you deserve.
Did he go to kindergarten there?
He did not.
Okay.
So we started in private because we misguidedly thought that if we're in a private school, it will be smaller. We'll have, more parent input. And frankly, when you're like, okay, well, we could just take our tuition money somewhere else, like, people are more likely to listen.
Right.
And that wasn't the case. And that was something that we had to learn the hard way. So then we were like, okay, we're going to do public school. His rights are protected there. And then, yes, they are protected, but it's definitely up to the school's discretion what they're going to do. And it's really tricky because even trying to do something about that, again, your child is still going to school there.
Right.
You have to go through a lot of red tape and a lot of steps to even get through the complaint process. So it's difficult, I think, for a lot of people. And yeah, that was, after experiencing that, we were like, okay, we're going, we're out, we're done. We will find a place that values him and serves him.
Yeah.
Does that record, that BS record they have, does that follow him to the next school, or is that just in his school?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Can you get like a lawyer to drop that?
So we essentially had an addendum put in his IEP that references that and says, like, should that ever fall off, this addendum can fall off too. But if it doesn't, this is a situation, and these are our parent statements regarding that. And so that's in there as well. But coming here, obviously we were cautiously optimistic. And again, it's holiday break, right? So it's like all of the things I would normally do where I would go and meet with school staff and meet with his teacher and talk with them. We would, tour the school, stuff like that. I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that because
Right.
it's holiday break, right? And there was a big part of me as I'm sending these emails that's like, I hope they don't read them. Like, I hope they are somewhere like relaxing.
Yeah.
But the
True.
other part of me was like, please someone read these.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a phone call from the director at the time, the accessible ed director at the time. And I could hear like like the beeping for her car door going off and stuff. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to call you. Look, I'm leaving chemo. I have a dinner, but just like said it like so nonchalant, right?
Yeah.
I'm leaving chemo. I'm on my way to a dinner. I can't talk very long, but I saw your email. What are you doing tomorrow? And I'm like,
Oh.
whatever you want. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
where do I need to be?
Mm-hmm.
And she had already, before she called me, contacted the principal at the school, the person that would be his case manager, the person that would be his teacher. And like she had already planned all of that out, asked them to come in the next day as well. And then
Mm-hmm.
she was like, if you're free, we can tour the school. We'd love to meet him and talk to
Oh,
Oh,
him.
wow.
awesome.
And I was just like, what?
Oh.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
so like just
Yeah.
bawling happy tears. And I'm sure she's on the other end, like, get a hold of yourself. But like, so the
That'll be
next day
fun.
we're at the school. And when we walk in, instead of like talking to me over him, they're like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. How are
Oh,
you? Like, where do you
Mm-hmm.
want to go
great.
first? And
Mm-hmm.
it seems so simple,
Right.
but to a kid like him, it's not because people are constantly talking over our kids
About
or about
him.
them in
Mm-hmm.
front of them. Like,
Right.
kid, does he do this? Does he do that? And it's like,
Yes.
ask
Right.
him. He's
Yeah.
right there. Like,
Right.
but
Yeah.
so it was just like instantly there was a humanity that was given back to him from
Mm-hmm.
other people, right? Because they're treating him like another human being versus treating him as if he's incompetent, right?
Right.
And so there was that presumption of competence from the jump, which made
Mm-hmm.
us very comfortable. And his first grade teacher called me every day
Oh, wow.
for a while and
Mm-hmm.
was just like, here's how it went today. I just want to put you at ease.
That's amazing.
The person that was the speech therapist at the school at the time, she had called and she was like, hey, I want to tell you this really quickly. He was walking to speech with another friend from class, and they had their arms around each other and they were both
Oh,
talking about how cool it is to have a speech friend.
Oh,
And I was
that's
just like, well,
awesome.
yeah, it's awesome. But like, they ended up letting them do speech together because they became like instant friends. And
oh.
Oh,
so it was like this fun thing. And they both got more out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
there were genuine connections that were made because the culture there was different, right?
Right.
It was more inclusive and it was accessible. And when we did have issues, like we could bring them up and they were addressed. Like
Wow.
and this is a public
going,
school in Austin.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So this was Valley View.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Going into ARDS there felt like I was just going to hang out with my friends and we were
Oh,
just going to talk
good.
about like how cool my kid is and like
Mm-hmm.
different things he might need now. And that
Right.
was such a change from what I had experienced before where it felt like I was going to war and
Right.
I was going in there to fight with people that like did not believe in my child and it was
Right.
heartbreaking every time. And this time it's like I just get to go hang out with other people that love him like I do
That's
and
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
hear their perspectives and be heard too. And we also started at that point him coming to the ARDS too.
Okay.
And so
Good.
sometimes he'd be like, I'm bored, and he would just like go to the library.
Right.
Um, but this last ARD that we just had a couple of weeks ago, he stayed the entire time.
Oh.
He was talking about things that he wanted and needed, or things that
Mm-hmm.
he, oh, I like this, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because like I want him to know even now that he can advocate for himself.
Yeah.
And like we can all guess about what works for you and what doesn't.
Right.
And most of our guesses are probably going to be pretty close, but like
Mm-hmm.
none of us live in his body. None of us
Right.
experience what he experiences. So like he's the expert on that and
Mm-hmm.
we're going to treat him that way.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to be a part of a school system that allows that.
Right.
Because again, this should be the rule, not the exception, but it is the
Right.
exception.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
So we in first grade, we're in second grade. We bought our house
Yay.
specifically to go to this school.
Mhm.
And I'm unpacking, and at this point I'm on the booster club board, and one of my other board members texts me and she's like, "Hey, morale is really low. Like, what can we do for the teachers?" And I'm like, "Why? What happened?" "They're closing the school. Did you not know that?" And I'm like,
Oh
Oh
my
"Girl, what?"
gosh.
No, I did not. As I'm unpacking, like,
Yeah.
so there was a long drawn out, thing where they kind of let us feel like maybe they wouldn't close it, and then they did.
No.
So they blended the school with another elementary school here,
Okay.
Mhm.
and this is the first year of that.
Okay.
So it's been tricky. The
Yeah.
culture is
Oh.
different. There was just something like I can't put my finger on it, but Valley View was magic. It really was, dude. Like it
Why
was
did
so
they
special.
what was the reason of closing it?
Um, the reason the board gave was that the enrollment numbers were the lowest there. But I will
Okay.
say that we also had the highest population of students receiving services, and we also
Mm.
had the most economically diverse population of students and the most racially diverse population of students. So I'll
Yeah.
just leave
Leave it
that there.
there.
Yeah. No
hmm
joke. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, so
Yikes.
it's definitely I don't know. I don't ever want to miss an opportunity to kind of shout out the educators
Right.
that we got to have at Valley View, because they gave my kid back to himself. Like
Mhm.
they allowed him to feel safe and
Right.
confident, and I watched him return back to who he was, and like that is such a gift. Like I will never forget it, to the point where sometimes I see them and I'm like, "Hey, thank you
Oh.
again," and they're like, "Uh-huh," like, "Okay."
No, you don't get it. Yeah.
Wait,
Right.
tell the people listening, if they don't know you, what your child's diagnosis. What?
Yeah. So he has cerebral palsy.
Okay.
He has, I guess, technically, spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy.
Okay.
So basically, what that means is his muscles are super duper tight all the time, some more than others.
Mhm.
Initially, we thought that it was hemiplegic, which just means one side of the body is affected. So sometimes it might be someone's left side, or it might be more the upper body than the lower body.
Mhm.
And then the older he got and the more mobility he was able to gain, we realized that it was actually the entire body. So
Okay.
his left side is affected a lot more than
Mhm.
his right side is. And he also has epilepsy.
Okay.
Okay.
We are in the process of diagnosing neurodivergence,
Okay.
as
Okay.
his dad and I both are. So, all signs are pointing to yes for that.
Right.
I was always wondering, since you and your husband have the diagnosis.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, you know what I mean? Like, your kids. And
Yeah.
I would be very shocked if there is not some, different wiring.
Mhm.
But we
Genetics.
also, yeah,
Okay.
we also did a ton of rewiring when he was really little, to gain strength and mobility, and we wanted to give him whatever opportunities he wanted to use his body, how he wanted to use his body.
Mhm.
So, for instance, with speech, he was non-speaking for quite a while, and we did some modified sign, but that was kind of difficult for him to be understood because he could only use his right hand to do it.
Mhm.
And so we knew what he was saying, just like
Right.
Right.
certain, body language or sounds or whatever, but it was really hard for other people to understand him and for
Mhm.
him to feel understood around other people. So then we switched to AAC, and
Okay.
we did the LAMP app,
Yep.
and he really, really thrived with that.
Oh,
And
that's
then
awesome.
as he was thriving with that, verbal language kind of exploded.
Mhm.
And so we got to a point where it was like, okay, well, how do you want to be heard? Like,
Right.
do you want to just use your iPad? Do you want to just use your voice? Do you want to do
Mhm.
both?
Right.
And he expressed that he just wanted to use his voice. We're like,
Okay.
okay, that's
Mhm.
what we'll focus on. And if you change your mind,
Right.
you can change the way you communicate.
Yeah.
So that was definitely an experience too.
Mhm.
And
Well, and
I think,
I feel like as they get older too, that could change,
yeah,
as they go through
totally.
puberty and as,
Right.
you know
So many things change, right? And like,
Mhm.
I think for him too, I just wanted him to know that like one is not better than
Right.
the other.
True.
Yeah.
It's more about like how you want to be heard.
Yeah. How you can
So if you want to be heard in this way, that's where we're going. If you change your
Mhm.
mind and you want to be heard in a different way or you want options, that's what we're
Mhm.
going to do.
Yeah.
Um
Amazing.
so I want him to know that he can choose for himself and also that like he's allowed to change his mind, you know?
Right.
Right. Mhm. Well, and accessibility obviously
And
changes.
talk about
Huge.
what he just got.
His wheelchair, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this was for me like a huge moment of self-advocacy for him.
Mhm.
And he really like he worked extremely hard to be able to crawl, sit up on his own, walk unassisted, um, have any mobility in his left arm, use his right arm, his hand, all of those things. Like he worked incredibly hard to be able to do those things because he wanted to. And to have a kid that, has considered his independence to be predicated on being able to do those things, even though we tried to have a dialogue about how that doesn't define your independence.
Mhm.
He came to us and he was just like, I want a wheelchair. And it was
Mhm.
just like
I
very
love
matter of fact.
that.
And we had always exposed him to like disability accounts, right? Social media is a scary, demonic place, but it's
Yes.
also a place where we can connect, right?
Yeah.
And like meet people that we never would have met and see
Right.
perspectives that we might not have ever considered. And so for me, it was really important to show him specifically other disabled people, whether it's
Mhm.
kids, adults, people with CP, people with disabilities he doesn't have, so that he can have that sense of community, whether we physically have that where we are. And
Mhm.
especially where we were in Lubbock, we did not have that. His therapists were phenomenal.
Oh, good.
His PT and OT and speech therapists have been with him since he was about 7 months old. Like,
Oh,
Mm,
I would die for them to this day. Like,
yeah.
right.
they are still considered a part of our family.
Mhm.
So, he had a lot of support there that I think a lot of people are not lucky enough to have, and
Right.
I hear so many horror stories about therapists that are not affirming or,
Yep.
Yeah.
people that have experiences awful experiences in therapy,
Mhm.
and we are really lucky that that never happened with us.
That's
Like,
Yeah.
great.
So good.
literally the only thing we were sad to leave in Lubbock was our therapist, like,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Yeah, that's
but
tough.
it for him to ask for that, I was just like, "Okay, like, this is
Mhm.
important to you, right?"
Yeah.
So we were like, "Okay, tell us more about that." And he was talking about how tired he is at school, and
Mhm.
the school is really big, and he has a lot of distance to cover.
Mhm.
Um, he's going, between classes, which most of his peers that are in gen ed are in their classroom for most of the day.
Mhm.
They go to a different classroom for specials, and obviously they go to lunch and recess. But other than that, they are in their classroom. He receives pull-out services for reading, ELA, and math. So he is switching sometimes across the building
Oh, wow.
between every
Yeah.
class. So he was exhausted, right?
Mhm.
Right.
And he had been talking about how he was experiencing more pain than usual.
Mm.
And we're kind of in that, funky, like in between with Botox where it's like it has started to wear off, but it wasn't time to get more yet. Like I think we go in 2 weeks, maybe. But at this time, it was like there's a certain length of time that you have to wait in between
Mhm.
injections,
Does it
and
work?
it helps him a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
There are, they told us when we started it, again, he was around 7 months old, that some kids, they start this treatment and it works their entire life.
Mhm.
Some kids, they get it a few times and then their immune system is like, "Nope, I know what that
Mhm.
is," and
Yep.
that's
Oh.
it.
Yep.
Mhm.
So for him, we have had to switch from, like, Botox to Dysport,
Mhm.
Okay.
um, but other than that, like, it really does help him
Did
a
you
ton.
switch because of insurance or?
Luckily, no. We
Okay.
switched because Botox was like the efficacy was dropping.
Okay.
Okay.
So, which yeah, insurance is a whole other thing that I
Mhm.
would love to
Oh, yeah.
talk shit on forever and ever.
Fight.
But yeah, truly,
Fight
like
them.
send them all outside, every single one. Like,
Catch me
Literally.
outside. How about that?
please
Mhm.
please do.
Let's talk about your
Oh my God.
diagnosis.
I forgot what I was saying.
No, you're good.
Which is a
Yeah.
great segue into
Yeah.
that, actually. So I am ADHD. I'm late diagnosed.
Okay.
A lot of things made sense when I
Mhm.
found that out about myself. My husband was ADHD diagnosed as a kid, but didn't get an autism diagnosis until way later.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because my husband had ADHD diagnosis as a kid, and I'm like, pretty sure he's autistic. And he's like, well, they tested me, but I wasn't. And I was like, okay, but that was like the 90s when they tested you.
Right.
It's so different now.
It
Yeah.
sounds so old. The 90s.
Well, I'm like,
Oh,
I
so much has
know.
changed
So
since
much.
then. It's like,
it really has. I also think that like our standards of care have changed, right?
yeah,
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
so I think as a practitioner, standards of care have changed, but also like what we're willing to accept in terms of how
Mhm.
we're treated in a clinical setting has also changed.
Yes.
And I think that helps too.
Mhm.
How old were you when you got your diagnosis?
I was 23, maybe
Okay.
22,
Okay.
23.
Okay.
And autism, still working on that diagnosis.
Okay.
But like, I know,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Are you
Especially
going to get
after,
it? Are you going to get the
I think
diagnosis?
so. I think so. And I've had people ask me, like, why is it so important to you?
Mhm.
And it's like, well, for one thing, I want to know. Like,
Right.
this is something that it's another tool to understand yourself, right? Like,
Mhm.
it's not, people are like, oh, it's a label. And it's like, well, okay, sure. But
Yeah.
also, like, again, when we're worried about that, I think what we're worrying about truly is like maybe some internalized ableism
Yes.
because
Othering yourself. Yeah.
nobody is worried about like getting a heart disease diagnosis
Right.
or
Right.
getting an endometriosis diagnosis, right?
Mhm.
Nobody feels like that's a taboo thing.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand why we feel that way about anything else because it's literally all the same.
Yeah. Yes.
So for me, it's a tool to understand yourself, right?
Mhm.
And
100%.
why wouldn't you want that? And I
Right.
think it's the same for our kids, right? Where it's like, why wouldn't we want to give them all the tools to understand themselves and give
Mhm.
us tools to be even better parents because we have an even broader understanding of where they're coming from?
Right.
So to me, it's like there's no question about it,
Mhm.
100%. And it's like, even without the diagnosis, you're still autistic. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And
get the
that part,
diagnosis.
right? That part took me a while though.
Yeah.
Did it?
Because yeah, I was just like, well, I mean, I don't think it's fair for me to say. And then the more frankly autistic people I met
Mhm.
and, my husband's diagnostic process, going through all the different diagnostic processes with my son, it's like, that's no, that's also internalized, right?
Right. Yes.
And I think maybe some of it too is being late diagnosed
Mhm.
and being an adult
Yeah.
and looking back on a lot of things where it's like, oh, okay, yeah,
That makes sense.
that's why that was hard. Or I wasn't just this,
Right.
this was actually happening, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know. I think it gives you a better just understanding
Yeah.
of everything, right? Of your physical health, of your mental health, of all your past experiences. And
Right. Yeah.
so, yeah, for me, it's no question. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And how old was your husband when he got the autism diagnosis?
38?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
That's how old I am.
Awesome. Me too
You better
right
go
now.
get
Yeah.
yours.
Look,
Yeah,
yay! See,
yeah.
38 Club. We're the older. We do this every
Yes.
time. The older moms on the space.
Whatever.
And then, whatever.
Not even.
So what's it like as an adult getting the diagnosis? Is there wait list or is it completely different?
I mean, for me, and maybe it's different everywhere. I only
Okay.
know
Right.
what it's been like for me, but there's a lot of, discussing back and forth and, "Oh, well, maybe you should see this person," and then there's a wait list, and so it's like, "Okay, we'll wait for that."
Mhm.
Or, for instance, I've had a lot of conversations just with my regular therapist
Mhm.
where she's like, "Have you thought about maybe that you're autistic?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, all the time," you know? And she's like, "Okay, can you point to certain things that make you think that?" And, I rattle
Mhm.
off the list. And then she's like, "So I'll just tell you, um, it's been my experience. I have not seen any patients that even wondered if they were autistic and were not." She was just like, "Neurotypical do not people, they don't wonder
Wonder if
if
they are.
Oh,
they're," yeah, like, and I was just like, "Oh,
interesting.
Interesting.
okay." And I think that helped a lot too with being able to self-identify because it was just
Mhm.
like, okay, like,
Mhm.
really, in my heart of hearts, it's
Yeah.
very obvious to
Yeah.
me,
Right.
and frankly, a lot of people that I tell, so
Yeah.
I feel very confident that that is my reality, that is
Mhm.
part of me, and I don't find it to be shameful or
No, not at
embarrassing,
all.
Right.
and I feel liberated by it, and I feel like I
Good.
understand myself better,
Yes.
and yeah, so
Well, and I think especially if you have neurodivergent children, it's helpful for them because you're like,
yes.
we're
Hey, guess
both,
what?
we're all,
That's
Where do
everybody
you
here.
think you got it?
that's what we discussed before. It's like that's
Yeah.
like one of the main reasons I would love to know
Mhm.
because when my child's like, "Well, what kind of brain do you have?"
Right.
I'd love to be
Yeah.
like,
This
I
kind.
mean,
Yeah.
this kind. Let's get
Mhm.
Yes.
into your shop. I want to
Yes.
talk
Let's talk
about
about
like
the shop.
like
Yeah.
when you got on Instagram, when you started, like why you got on Instagram, and then talk about your shop.
Okay. So, I will first say shout out PlaySpark because that was the first
Yes.
yes.
Oh, we love that.
Um, that was the first account that I found when I started trying to, like, seek out things like
Mhm.
this, um, that was it felt truly affirming and centered on, like, disability specifically,
Mhm.
and I was just like, "Wait, like, this is something you can do? Like,
Mhm.
I didn't know you could do that," you know?
Yeah.
And that was mind-blowing to me, and I don't know why, but it was, and then finding more people in the space to follow, and that's, the kind of content that I choose to consume, and that's the kind of content I show my son.
Mhm.
Again, just for, community and to, show him that, like, this is not just you, right? Or it's not just
Right.
in our house, like, there are a lot of people that have really stank ass beliefs, but there
Mhm.
are also a lot of people that don't. And in kind of doing all of that, it was more like this thing that was in the back of my head where it's like, maybe I could do that someday,
I love
you
Mhm.
know?
that.
And
I'm
then
glad you
eventually
did.
it just
Yeah.
became a like, I should do this, right? Like, why not?
Right.
So I did.
Yay. And when did you start?
I think it's been about a year.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you start your shop the same time?
I started with just doing designs, and
Okay.
then, a friend of mine really encouraged me. She was like, "You should put that on a sticker. You should put that on a shirt." And I'm like, "I don't
Yes.
know, you know."
I'm glad you
And then
did.
she's like, "Just try it." And so,
I'm looking
oh,
at this sticker. I just opened them. Catch inclusion or catch these hands.
that's right.
Yeah.
I
Catch
love
'em.
that. I love your stuff because it's so like what does Reagan say? Salty?
Salty. Yes.
Yes.
Salty. It's
It's
It
so
is
spicy.
very salty
spicy. We love
because
it.
I think at the time when I started, and of course I've seen since then, like, so many other things that are just as salty, and I love
Mhm.
them. Um, but at the time I was just like, where is stuff that, like, just the way I speak conversationally, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I want that.
Yes.
I want stuff that's, like, salty and gritty because that's how I am.
Right.
Aw,
Right.
you
Well, and
have
And
sometimes I feel like when I go out in public with my children and I don't want to talk to people, but I want them to
fair,
to
know
know and to
I
stop
will
right?
wear
staring.
that and like, yeah, to stop staring because I'm like,
Yes.
You can
Which you're
you can be
wearing.
inclusive or you can be gone. That's the one I
Bye.
love because I'm like,
You're wearing
Yes.
Virgo. Explain your
yes,
shirt.
I'm wearing Virgo. This is one
Mm,
that we did for
I
our
love.
collab for Gigi. So it's the S2C
Yes.
Club.
I love that.
Respect all communicators. And then the back is the letterboard. So that's one of the ones we have for G for her school, which is amazing. I love you, Ash, for doing that because
Oh,
it's so great. And I
me
feel
too.
like there's not a lot of like spelling shirts. Like there are some spelling shirts and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's not a lot of like salty ones.
True. True.
And I'm like, sometimes I just,
You
want
want
to
that
be
salt.
salty. Yes.
Yes.
What do
Yes.
you have a favorite design, Virgo, of yours?
Ooh. It's so funny. I feel like it rotates, but right now this one is one of my
I love
favorites
that
Okay, it's
one.
so
because
cute.
it
Yeah.
is kind of my goal is to make it kind of like a neon sign.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yes. So I
Like the
Yes, because
moon
it's
really
one.
yes, the
and you
legs
live
are
Yeah.
it goes with Austin because I was about to say, oh, that would be great for
yeah,
Nashville, but Austin's very similar.
it would
They
work there too.
for
Yeah.
Nashville.
Yes.
That's
So
really cute. I like that.
I love that one. I really like the catch inclusion or catch these hands. And
Mm-hmm.
then I love the S2C stuff because again it's not super common. And I
Yeah.
think that especially with a lot of the discourse right now,
Mm-hmm.
um it's very needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
just put it on like,
I want
Yeah.
to end
uh.
it with something like totally random, not random, but like not what we're talking about, but like I've seen your workout videos and you did like this really like
Oh,
high, like this high kick one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, have you seen that one, Reagan?
yes.
Oh my, how did she do that? Give us
Oh
a
my
scoop there. Like how what's
God.
your background? Are you an athlete? What like are you a fighter? Whoa.
A million
Teach
years
me.
ago,
Oh,
in
okay.
my previous life, I was a fitness instructor, and one of my
Okay.
favorite
Okay.
That makes
favorite classes
sense.
to
Yeah.
teach was body combat. I still do it multiple times a
Ooh.
week in my garage.
I
Like
love that. You should do a
I
class. Like,
loved
I
We
want
should
to
this
do it.
take this
class.
class. Yes.
I would
I
love
could never do
to.
that kick, but I want to. Like, what if we do like a virtual
Virtual class. Yes.
That
autism
would be so
mom?
fun. I would have to practice quite a bit because like I don't talk when I do it
You
anymore.
would have to practice.
And yes, because I could do it fine,
Okay.
but like
But
talking
teaching.
while
Yeah.
doing,
Okay.
I don't know. And I would definitely need a very solid windscreen. Otherwise, you guys would just hear like, like over and over.
Maybe just do like captions or something.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That's
true.
great.
That's me when I go on a walk and I do voice. I'm like, I'm on a walk, man. I'm like,
Right.
this is really bad. Like, I need to kick it into gear. Like, I'm literally walking. But
I
okay, so
love
you
it.
were a fitness instructor. That's
I
Okay.
was. I
badass. I love
also
that.
what kind of like, drew me to that side of it was I went through some things with a it feels
Mm,
gross to say boyfriend, but that's what they
Mm.
were at the
Mhm.
time. And I was very intent on making sure that like nobody's son was ever going to put their hands on me again.
Yes.
And I can say that now,
Mm.
very confidently that should anyone choose to, it would not go well.
Beat them up. Yeah.
so she's a
I love
fighter,
that.
So,
she's on our team.
Yes.
yes,
Wait,
that's right.
catch those
Yes.
That's
hands.
right. Well,
Okay,
and that's what's wrong
so
with my knuckles is like they're all scarred now. But
I love it. You're gonna get this
It's
virtual
amazing.
that would
Body
workout.
be really
combat.
You're gonna
fun.
get
Yes.
me
That
and
would be so
Reagan. I
fun.
want to get a high kick like
Well, what's
that.
wild is like I don't know that Les Mills would sanction that because they're very into their
Oh,
licensing.
yeah. We'll have to call it something else.
Yeah,
Oh,
We'll call
okay.
it
yeah.
We'll
catch
call
these
Well,
it.
hands. Catch inclusion or catch.
right. We'll have to change the music and the
Yes.
choreo and the name,
Okay.
but
We can do
We
it.
got this.
yeah,
We
I'll
got
format
this.
it another way. It's
Yeah.
fine. But it really is like even if we all just did a meetup
Mm-hmm.
where we like synced screens or whatever, like
Yeah.
it's really fun and some of it I will say I went back and watched some of the older releases. Some of it does not age well. And that was really frustrating because I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't
Oh
remember them saying that.
gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I was certified on 44, which they do quarterly releases. And I think they just released 106.
Oh
So that's
wow.
that's how ancient I am.
It's like the Now CDs.
No, no.
Yes.
I have Now
Oh my
3, I think,
gosh.
upstairs, and now it's like Now
Oh my gosh.
73.
Now
Oh, what are they? Yeah, I was gonna say, what are they on at this point? Like
125.
now 8,000. Okay, so
I
what's on the Now
Right.
3?
I'll get it
Oh,
in today, and
Yes.
I'll play it.
play
Do
it.
I have it?
Yes.
There's no CD players like
CD
in
player.
computers anymore. Like,
Oh yeah.
does
Your
our
car.
car?
Our
I
car
was gonna
has
say,
one.
okay, Reagan and
We
I
have
drive
the
the same
same
car.
Anything else you
Yeah.
want to chat about?
No. Oh, I will say, Section 504 is
Yes.
under attack again right
Yes.
now because we can't just leave that alone.
Right.
So obviously the previous lawsuit was Texas v. Becerra. It is now Texas v. Kennedy, which is Texas and 8 other states, I believe,
Mhm.
are challenging the validity of the integration mandate for Section 504, which essentially grants the ability for disabled people to be out in community versus institutionalized.
Mhm.
And looking at it through an education lens, we are talking about least restrictive environment
Right.
specifically. So if you are so inclined, it could be super helpful to contact the 9 attorneys general that are involved in this suit and tell them how you feel about it. And
Mhm.
you can be as creative as possible, and you
Yes.
can contact them as many times as you want. There's no limit on it. You
Mhm.
do not have to live in the States to contact them and tell them how you
Yeah,
feel.
that's good to
Right.
know for
Right.
people
You
Well,
that
can
and
have
it.
also
done it.
contact reps and tell them, like, hey, I don't like what my attorney general is doing. Can
Mhm.
you speak out about this?
Right.
So that is something that I think we all as advocates need to be kind of
Yes.
vigilant and focused on.
Yes.
And in your local school districts, getting involved in board elections, like we're having one right now, early voting is happening.
Mhm.
Making sure that candidates are aware of this
Right.
because most of the candidates were not.
Mhm.
So that's important. Making
Yes.
sure that your candidates understand the difference in IDEA and 504 is also important. Asking them what they plan on doing if those protections go away or if they're no
Mhm.
longer legally obligated to provide them
Mhm.
is really important. So even if you don't have a kid in public school, it does
Right.
affect like your greater community. So it's always a really good idea to connect with school board members, and just check in with them
Mhm.
and check in with them often so that
Yes.
they know that you will remember.
Right. And it does
Towards
matter.
the
I
end.
even just having those conversations and being that email and being that call, like
Yes,
being that post online, it matters. Like
it
you all
does.
I feel like they really thrive on like, you know, it's you're just one person, but it's like it
Yes,
doesn't matter. You're still like
it still matters.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, totally. And I
And
think,
don't you
um,
have on your Instagram like a bunch of like just break it down how you can do it for someone that like doesn't necessarily know how
yes,
to go about it?
yes. One of the easiest ways is just getting on the school board's website. Most of them, not all, most of them will have contact information for each board member.
Mhm.
And you can email them separately, altogether, however you want to do that. You can sign up to speak at board meetings, and every district and their process is a little bit different. Like ours specifically, I think you have to sign up by noon the day before,
Mhm.
and they open up sign-ups, I think 24 hours before that.
Okay.
And then you just sign up to speak, and then depending on how many people they have, you might have 3 to 5 minutes or you might have 1 minute.
Mhm.
Um, so you can do those things. Our school board meetings are all recorded and transcribed. So even if, someone may not be in attendance, they are live streamed and you can always go back and watch them after. And I think a lot of districts do that.
Okay.
Um, So that's also an option for people if they're wondering like, "Well, I haven't really been paying attention. I don't know what my school board's up to."
Mhm.
This is a great way to find out.
Yeah.
Um, you also like you're allowed to be mad about stuff,
Mhm.
and you are allowed to call things what they are.
Mhm.
And something that I've been talking about with a lot of people in my circle is like it's not wrong to call something what it is.
Mhm.
And yes, you can do it in a way that is affirming and kind and also isn't taking any shit, frankly.
Right.
Yep.
You're allowed to be assertive and you're allowed to stand up for the things that you want for our community.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean that you hate this district or you don't love this district or you're not grateful for what they provide, because especially in Texas, our district specifically provides a lot of things that most districts don't.
Mhm.
But that does not mean that the work is done.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we should be satisfied or that we should just accept the things that aren't working for our kids.
Mhm.
So I think for anyone that's on the fence about advocating for things like that, or, again, feeling like I'm just one person,
Mhm.
okay, but you can be
Right.
that
You are
one person
right.
that you can be loud or you can be quiet, however feels comfortable to you.
Mhm.
Doing something is important.
Right.
And you don't have to necessarily speak or call. You can also send emails,
Yes.
correct?
Emails. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's my favorite too, because there's also like a written record, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's a
So
paper trail.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, if anyone is interested, I have a petition that if you follow me,
Mhm.
you've been bombarded with requests to sign many
We'll po
times.
we'll post that on our, we'll post it on all of our pages, but let's
Yeah.
put it on our, podcast page
Yes.
Pocket
today.
pitch.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Mhm.
I would really appreciate that.
Yes.
And again, you can start your own.
Mhm.
Like, you can get on change.org, start your own petition, and then present that to your school board and say, look, like, this isn't just me. If you feel
Mhm.
like you need a stronger argument, you can say it's not just me. This many community members are telling you
Right.
that this is important. And again, you can sign anyone's petition. You do not have to live in that district.
Mhm.
Um, and I think the more that we do these things and the more of a presence that we have, it's a
Mhm.
lot harder to ignore, right?
Yes.
It's
Absolutely.
it's very easy to dismiss, again, to counterpoint that, like, one mom, one
Mhm.
dad, one parent, but it's a lot harder to dismiss a ton of signatures that are telling you, like, it isn't just this one mom
Mhm.
that, every time she calls, you guys audibly sigh because you know what she's calling about.
Right?
Like,
Right.
it's actually a lot of people,
Mhm.
and again, we shouldn't need those qualifiers, but sometimes we do.
Right.
So it's nice to have.
Right.
And I can also say that advocacy is lonely sometimes,
Yeah.
Yes.
and having that knowledge that, like, other people care about this and other people
Right.
are in it with you can
Right.
also be really affirming in and of itself. So I
Yes.
think that doing these things and getting more involved is a great place to start.
I love
Mhm.
that. And I feel like a
Well,
lot of people don't know how to start. And with
yeah.
your account, I love how
Yeah.
you like break it down and like people are like, "Oh, I can do that."
Yeah. Like, just
Yeah,
send an email
totally.
or just you know what I mean?
Totally.
Just
And if you ever have any questions, please DM me. Like,
Yes. Would tell everyone
yes,
your
babe,
handle.
do you need some help? I am at .virgo.design.
Perfect.
Oh, ATX, I guess. Yeah.
ATX. Yeah.
Probably should
Yeah.
probably should finish the whole name.
Well, we'll tag you
Yes.
anyways,
We'll
but
tag you.
Oh,
I
thank you
had so
guys.
much fun talking to you. I'm so
Yes.
glad you came and joined
I
I
us.
love
know.
yapping with you guys.
And
I
I'm
just
gonna
want
put
to
these
say,
stickers on everything.
Yeah.
oh, yay! Yes,
Yep.
yes, yes, yes. I also just want to say I really admire both of you, and I appreciate
Oh,
Oh.
your advocacy and
Thank
your willingness to be vulnerable in a space that is really scary.
Yeah.
And also your willingness to not take any shit, because I
Right?
think,
We love
especially
that.
as women, showing up that way is really hard
Mhm.
oh,
and also really important. So
thank
thank
Yes.
you both
you.
for
We love
being
you.
amazing friends and parents and just general badasses. I
Thanks.
appreciate
We
Yes,
you.
love you.
we
Back
appreciate
at
Oh,
you.
you.
Oh
love
my
you too.
Yes,
gosh.
girl.
Bye.